Hello, and thanks for joining your Body Advocate podcast. I'm Ruth Cummings, your host. And today I want to talk about how you can spread trust in any type of team setting. Let's take a deep breath to relax. Ready? All right, here we go.
You're listening to Your Body Advocate, telling your body's side of the story. The podcast dedicated to supporting and improving your body-mind connection so you can live a pain-free, passion-filled life, dissolving one body tension at a time. Discover the healing properties of your own body language, and together let's explore ways to support and improve essential self-talk. Now, here's your host, Master of Encouragement and Body-Mind Life Coach, Ruth Cummings.
All right, so today we're going to talk about how to spread trust in any team setting. I do this quite a bit with teams, and I consider teams to be three different styles that I work with. So first is the corporate team, like CEOs and their team leaders. That's excellent and a great way to do in a retreat setting, in team building genres type of places where you go somewhere, like a destination type of team building. That's really fun. Also, working with any sports teams. Sports teams have a hierarchy just like CEOs and all types of working environments. And then the family team. There's also a hierarchy, and teams and trust is very important in all these three types of teams: corporate, sports, and family teams. So the first question I ask when there's an issue and the body is involved, there's a lot of pain, headaches, different types of things going on, and most people aren't aware of the body piece of this, the body piece of this puzzle. So I like to come in and just suggest some ideas. If people can be open to the possibility, then we really can get a lot of work done. So let's look at a few things you could ask yourself if you're having problems in one of these team settings, with CEOs or corporate teams, in a sports team of any kind, football, tennis, basketball, soccer, etc., or in a family team, because in a family there's also hierarchy, and I consider you guys a team. So let's look at these trust questions a little closer. First of all, what is your relationship with trust? Sometimes people haven't heard that type of question before, but if you look at it, what is your relationship with trust? And what does trust mean to you? What does trust mean to you? And then my third question would be, how does one earn your trust? What does it take to earn your trust? What does that look like for you? And that's different for each person. So once you can add those questions in your brain and be very open and clear about that, and not angry that I'm even asking, or not feeling like this is a really silly exercise. Those are types of resistance that might be interesting to look at a little bit closer. But what is your relationship with trust? What does trust mean to you? And what does it take to earn your trust? What does that look like? So after you look at those questions, then I would suggest there's many, but here's the three I would start with. And I'm going to start with the one, if you have a level of trust already, then you can try this type. The first one would be to touch people with respect. Like for Dale Carnegie, in his leadership training and speaking training, how he would talk about earning trust from people and just touching somebody lightly when you're talking to them. Like you put your hand out and you just touch their shoulder, or you put your hand out and you just touch their hand or their back or the side of their arm, that type of thing. The same thing can happen in teams and corporate teams and families. But some people, you're not at that level. But let me just talk about this level a little bit more. When you do this, you want to be very sincere. All of these that I'm going to talk about, very sincere. And the touch is always appropriate, very professional, and it's very light, and it's adding that touch that says, I trust you, without even saying, I trust you. Like making them part of the team, making them part of the pack. Okay. Then I would really suggest saying, if you can, if you're at this level, you could say, I trust you. And they might look at you kind of oddly, like, what? I trust you, and I wanted you to know. And it can start this incredible conversation, and then you can take it from there. But using the touch from your hand and very respectful and professionally, adding that touch to the conversation can really help mend a lot of issues with the trust area and any team. Okay. So what if you can't do that? Like if you trust, like the trust is just gone out the window and someone would slap you across the face or fire you if you touch them. So let's look at some other ideas. There's many, many, but here's some that I would suggest. The next level down, so you have a little bit of trust still, is that you could mention that you're glad that they're there. This is how you would say it. I'm glad you're here. And I get a lot out of you being here. And then you can add something. So I get a lot out of the things that you offer in our meetings. I really like the way you talk to people. I really like the way that you listen. I really like the way that you don't attack people when they tell you you're wrong. I really like the way that you do your job, throw a ball or a manager, something like that. Okay. So you can fill in the blank, but the main idea is to give them appreciation with your words, eye contact, and just the way you open when you're saying this. So you have your body be facing their body. So there's a lot of body language that shows how to be open and respectful to people. And this is one of those times where you could use that. But saying something very appreciative that shows that you appreciate what they offer and they bring to the table. Let them know that. Sometimes we assume that people should know. I get this a lot. My kids know that I love them. Well, why? Because they just should know. And you hear this in corporate and in sports teams. I work really hard, and all they do is want more. All they do is complain or get mad at me for working so hard. So they're jealous. Like there's this lack of trust, right? So I would suggest is to say, I really appreciate you being here, and I get a lot out of you being here. And then tell them why specifically. And then the third one, if you really just need to build trust, then I would suggest using good posture, but not like overbearing posture. So use good posture, a little bit of a smile, and then a quick compliment. Something like, hey, you look really nice today. And just keep walking. There is not a need for a response. You are just giving. You're going to give. You're going to give very quickly, very sincerely, and then not expect anything else. A lot of times we'll say, you look really nice today. And then we're expecting, well, you look really nice too. Or you did really good in that meeting. Oh, well, you did really good too. And give your compliment very, very lovingly with no expectation of anything in return. So if you follow these three, and call me if you need some support, to build trust in whatever team you're working with, whatever team environment you are in, I think it will add trust to your team. And I have a great example of this, of working with Emmanuel Logan Green. So Manny was on a football team and goes through this. It's in one of the podcasts, and I will add it below. It's also on the success stories page on our website, ruthcummings.com. That's a great story. It's really fun. So if you want to see the fruits of his labor of creating trust, you can see a really fun play that he did where everybody trusted each other, and it really made some good football and good teamwork for Emmanuel. So that was great. All right, guys. So again, corporate teams, sports teams, and family teams. What does trust mean to you? What is your relationship with trust? And what does it take to earn your trust? And then from there, what do you want to do? The first and highest. So if you have a lot of trust and you just need to go a little bit higher. So touch people lightly and tell them that you trust them. I trust you, and give them a little tap. And the second one, I would say, with open posture, open body language, a light smile, and eye contact. Give them a compliment. I'm glad you're here. What you do, I really appreciate, and it really helps me because of this. Something simple like that. And practice it before you say that. And then the third one, if you're starting with hardly any trust, or you need to make up with people a little bit, give a compliment and then walk away. Don't expect anything back. A quick, sincere, good posture compliment, and then walk away. So I don't mean to compliment their posture, though you could do that. It's always a good thing to compliment, because good posture is important. So that's for my podcast today. So you can spread trust in any team environment by trying these 3 methods. And I hope that it works for you. If you have any questions, please give me a call. And I will see you next time on our next podcast. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to Your Body Advocate with Ruth Cummings. We're so glad you've joined us today and truly believe you can live a pain-free, passion-filled life. To connect with Ruth, work with Ruth, or to grab your free ebook, go to ruthcummings.com. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Until next time, friends, be open, include the unincluded, think outside the box, and spread love and kindness one smile at a time.